For number 10, we have her John Lennon cover. This one is just iconic to me because it is a funny video of Millie singing that has just non-stop recirculated all over the internet over the years. If you have no idea what I'm saying, maybe this will ring a bell. You may say I'm a dreamer. The video shows Millie as a child singing Imagine by the late Beatles member John Lennon. 12-year-old Millie uploaded this onto her YouTube channel at the time, but it has since been deleted. But as we all know, once it's on the internet, it stays on the internet, as it has appeared thousands and thousands of times as people have re-uploaded her cover all across different social media platforms and turned this into a meme that has been stuck in my head for hours. And for number 9, we have controversial friendship. It's no secret Millie is a young actress, but when she was 14, she met Drake at the Golden Globes after party in 2018. They were photographed together, and apparently Drake even extended an invite to his show. Well, even months after meeting, it appeared the two were still talking on a regular basis, as Millie revealed they texted all the time. And because of their 17-year age gap, many people had mixed feelings surrounding this duo, with many wondering what they even talk about. In September of that same year, she provided insight on their friendship as she told Access Hollywood that Drake was a great friend and role model, and even said Drake gives her dating advice. However, many people criticize this friendship due to the age gap, which prompted Millie to address the situation on her Instagram story. Her statement read, "Why you gotta make a lovely friendship your headline? You guys are weird for real. I'm lucky to have people in the business extend their time to help me further my career and offer their wisdom and guidance. I'm very blessed to have amazing people in my life. You don't get to choose that for me. It's nice to have people understand what I do. Now get back to talking about real problems in this world other than my friendships." I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on this unlikely duo and their friendship. For number 8, we have Bad Kisser, arguably her most recognizable role as 11 in the hit show Stranger Things, where she has an on-screen romance with Finn Wolfhard, who plays Mike. Although many fans ship their characters together, both of them have revealed information about their first on-screen kiss with each other. Millie called it lousy during an interview with Vanity Fair before Finn was asked about it on the Drew Barrymore show. He detailed how he almost headbutted her, but because he was only 12, it makes a lot more sense. But he did laugh it off, as he joked about how he probably would have done the same thing if it was not on screen and it was in front of the world. Originally came up when Millie was hooked onto a lie detector machine for Vanity Fair and was asked if Finn was a lousy kisser, and Millie immediately said yes, and the lie detector administrator confirmed she was telling the truth. But she was asked once again if Finn had gotten better at kissing, which she responded with, "No, not with me." This made a lot of fans feel bad for Finn because Millie just told the whole world that. And for number 7, we have fake skincare demo. Millie has her own skincare and beauty line called Florence by Mills, and back in 2019, she posted a video onto YouTube of her demonstrating how she uses her face wash before saying how she immediately feels better after putting it on her face. But many viewers noticed as she was rubbing the product onto her face, it didn't actually foam up or really appear like there's anything being applied to her face. And many people jumped onto social media criticizing her fake demonstration. She also appears to be wearing makeup during this video, which none of it smeared or even moved when she rubbed her face, and she actually ended up addressing this on Instagram by showing she was just making a quick video replicating her personal process and thought it would be okay. One person commented, "Couldn't she have pretended to fake it better? She's an actress after all," with another saying, "Selling air in a cute purple bottle." However, Millie isn't the only celebrity who is caught faking demos, as Kylie Jenner was also caught for the same thing, but with the face filter on as well. For number 6, we have Flat Earther. I bet you weren't expecting that one. But when Millie was 14, she told her fans during an Instagram Live Q&A that she actually has seen a conspiracy theory video and considers herself a Flat Earther. And if you don't know what that means, some people in the world believe our Earth is not a sphere, but rather flat like a Minecraft server. However, in 2022, during an interview with Vanity Fair where she was hooked onto the lie detector test, she was asked once again if she believed the Earth was flat, which she then said no, and the detector monitor confirmed she was indeed telling the truth. It could have ended there, but Millie added how she has never seen the curve of our Earth on a plane before, and the exterminator asked her if she has seen satellite pictures, which she said yes. And for number 5, we have diagnosed with feminism. This sounds weird and it is a little strange, but Millie has always used her platform to help benefit women across the world, as she was the youngest person to ever be appointed with UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador at just 14 years old. But she recently admitted she didn't consider herself a feminist until she visited a psychic who told her she was. In an interview with Glamour magazine, she revealed once the psychic told her that, she went home and googled, "How do I know if I'm a feminist?" And after her shocking revelation, she read articles and books about this cause, as she was able to really grasp the idea of feminism and what it means to her. Fans thought this was hilarious, with one person saying, "Sentence got crazier with every word," with another saying, "She's the funniest comedian we have and we should be grateful." In our number 4 spot, we have dissing the writers of Stranger Things. She made headlines after saying the cast was too big because they couldn't take one group photo because there were around 50 people. Millie then said they need to start getting rid of characters in the same way they got rid of Barb in season 1. She even called the Duffer Brothers sensitive Sallies for not wanting to get rid of any of the characters, and those brothers are not only the directors and the executive producers of the show, but they also created it. She also said they needed to be more like Game of Thrones and the mindset of Game of Thrones. The writers for Stranger Things responded by saying they are not Game of Thrones. And for our number 3, we have disrespectful engagement post. In April of this year, Millie announced her engagement to her boyfriend of 2.5 years, Jake Bon Jovi, who was the son of the famous rock star Jon Bon Jovi. On her Instagram post sharing her engagement, she captioned it, "I've loved you 3 summers now. Honey, I want 'em all." But fans were upset that she used the lyrics from Taylor Swift's hit song Lover because of the timing. Around the same time Millie was announcing her engagement, there were rumors circulating Taylor Swift split from her long-term partner, Joe Alwyn, and fans weren't really happy with Millie's usage of the lyrics at this time. One fan wrote, "The way she worded it is simply rude. She could have said engaged or mine, but the way she said it seems like she didn't care Taylor and Joe broke up." And another fan added to this by saying, "Not to bring my personal drama to main, but I just think it's a little disrespectful for Millie Bobby Brown to use Taylor Swift lyrics in her engagement post on this week of all weeks." But it didn't seem to bother Taylor because she did give the engagement post a like. And for number 2, we have Kiss with Louis Partridge. Millie is not only on Stranger Things, but also in the mystery movie franchise Enola Holmes. Many fans love the on-screen romance that was teased between the two characters, which Louis Partridge plays Lord Tewksbury, and in one of the scenes, Enola teaches Tewksbury how to fight after she punches him multiple times. She grabs his suit jacket and goes in for a kiss. But many people were shocked when Millie revealed during the rehearsal she grabbed his face and kissed him, and he was shocked as this clip was shared onto Netflix's TikTok page. She also shared Louis had to ask her to stop punching him after she actually chose to really punch him during the fight scenes. However, an intimacy coordinator, Jessica Steinrock, took it to her TikTok page to call out Millie for not getting permission from her co-star. Jessica actually choreographed certain scenes in movies and TV shows, but shared her thoughts on what Millie said, as she discussed if Millie didn't ask to kiss him and he acted surprised after she did that, it means the communication didn't really happen the way it needed to, and how there was no need for surprise kisses or real punches. And for our number 1 spot, we have being disrespectful. One specific instance has to do with her co-star David Harbour and an interview they did together. David was trying to compliment Millie on her acting skills and personality, but Millie began to make faces and interrupted him. She jumped out of her chair and caused disruption, which prevented David from finishing his sentence. In another conversation with The Wrap, Millie and her co-star Noah Schnapp were asked about what they wanted to see in future episodes, and Millie told Noah she wanted his character Will to die. And in another interview, Millie was known for interrupting her other co-stars, including Sadie Sink. Although they claim to be close friends, there has been multiple instances where Millie cuts off Sadie mid-sentence, which has actually resulted in Caleb McLaughlin to step in and ask Sadie if she wanted to speak. At the end of the day, she is still a young actress and you can't deny her talent in acting.
Coming in at number 10 is Raven-Symoné's weird TikTok. Last year, a repost of an old TikTok by Raven-Symoné of That's So Raven fame went viral. In the video, Raven-Symoné claimed to be parked next to Amber Heard at a Tesla charging station, and she was not thrilled about being in the fellow actor's vicinity. Symoné and her wife complained about being near her and proceed to laugh about how Heard had allegedly locked her keys in her car, and begin to brainstorm ways to get her attention, including Raven's idea of yelling something along the lines of "I cut my finger too, want to claim it. Raven also noted that Amber appeared to be in distress, gasping and saying, "Oh my god, she's crying." Miranda, her wife, chimed in by joking that she's probably on the phone with her lawyer. Raven also mocked Amber's then girlfriend, saying, "There's Amber and her lesbian lover. Oh my god, she looks like Johnny Depp." All of this hate came about despite the couple taking a photo with Amber. And as Amber's emotions became heightened, Raven decided to lighten the mood by showing Amber the picture they took together and said, "Amber, I'm so sorry you got locked out of your car, but my picture is amazing." Many people came out and said that Raven's behavior was uncalled for, saying that she was petty and mean for posting it. At number 9 is when she brought her dogs to Australia. For all who aren't aware, in order to bring animals to Australia from the USA, they must first be kept in a 10-day quarantine before being free to roam as per Australia's Quarantine Act. During a trip to the country in 2015, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp were caught illegally smuggling their Yorkshire Terriers into Australia, thus defying the Quarantine Act. Allegedly, the now ex-couple said no on their immigration form when asked if they needed to declare any animals, and this subsequently resulted in them getting in trouble with the Australian government for breaching biosecurity laws. I don't know how they thought they'd be able to keep 2 terriers quiet while going through an airport, but I respect them for trying. After they pled guilty to falsifying travel documents in court, the case was closed, with Heard and Depp filming an apology video in which the Pirates of the Caribbean actor urged viewers to declare everything. Depp then told the Jimmy Kimmel Live show about the incident in September 2015, saying, quote, "We were under the impression that we had all the paperwork done for the dogs. We were with the dogs in front of everybody." Depp and Heard's video apology came a year later, in which she added that she was truly sorry for not following the dog declaration rules. At number 8 is when Amber was slapped by Johnny in public. On the 15th day of their divorce trial, Amber Heard took the stand and opened up about a, quote, "embarrassing incident that occurred when she and Depp were on a flight in 2014. She mentioned Depp was upset that she was filming with James Franco, who he reportedly hated. After filming an intimate scene with her co-star Franco, Depp began to pester her, asking her for explicit details about it. Not a great conversation to have while sequestered in a plane together. The duo unsurprisingly got into a fight about the issue, which led to Depp throwing ice cubes and utensils at her. Amber said that she took the initiative of changing seats and getting away from him, minding her own business and looking out the window, but Depp did not care for that one bit. As she was sitting away from him, he slapped her across the face, which he claims was due to her not answering his questions. This all happened while his friends were sitting amongst them, and although the slap did not hurt her, as she said, she was embarrassed that it took place in front of people, as it was the first time it had ever happened in public. At number 7, we've got being proposed to without a ring. The biggest divorce scandal of the decade began with a less than desirable proposal. If you couldn't even get a stand-in ring for the big moment, then it's probably not a great sign of what he'll be like for the rest of the marriage. Amber recalls the moment that Johnny asked her to be his wife with affection, calling his proposal traditional and sweet. She said, quote, "He got down on one knee and said, 'I want you to be my girl forever, my woman, my girl, I want you to be the rest of my life, say yes to me.'" Heard said that her reaction to his popping the question was full of blind hope, and said, quote, "I thought if we were married then this was real and it wasn't going to be chaotic anymore and it'll change. I just had so much hope in that moment." Although Johnny seemingly had everything needed for a storybook engagement, he was missing one thing, probably the most important thing, that being a ring. Amber asked if he was serious, wanting him to actually think about his decision, knowing that John had a very impulsive personality. Impulsivity is always a great way to start a long-term commitment, or is it? She also said that she didn't immediately tell anyone because she didn't know if Depp really meant it. At number 6 is the countless times Amber cleaned up after Johnny. Amber claimed that Johnny was the love of her life and perfect in every way except for one. She says he was, quote, "awful." Amber goes on to explain that Depp would often pass out in his own vomit, lose control of his body, and have other people, including her, clean up after him. During the trial, she said, quote, "I mean, this man lost control of his bowels and I cleaned up after him. His security cleaned up after him, changed his pants in front of me, and he would pass out in his own sick." At our halfway point, we have the "my dog stepped on a bee" incident. Amber recounted a 2013 trip she and Johnny took amongst friends, which all led to the fact that her dog had stepped on a bee and they had to take it to the vet. This seemingly came out of nowhere, and a lot of people were confused about the relevance of her statement, seeing that it had very little to do with the important events she had been describing initially. After saying the line, she paused as if to wince in pain, and that moment, for whatever reason, went incredibly viral, with TikTok trends cropping up of people imitating the expression and stitching videos together with their own random winces. This moment garnered hundreds of videos, which all gathered hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of views. Even celebrities like Doja Cat got in on the trend with a TikTok explaining how her puppy got stung by a bee while squinting her eyes and jerking her head around. You know how she does. But after Doja posted the video, she received a ton of backlash, as fans were not happy that the singer was using her platform to seemingly needlessly hate on Amber. At number 4 is the fecal matter testimony. During the trial, Johnny testified that there was a moment when he went to collect his belongings from their Los Angeles penthouse after a particularly bad fight. When he got there, he received a message from his security guard saying it just wasn't a good time, but Johnny said he inquired further, to which he was made aware that there was, quote, quote, human fecal matter on his side of his and Heard's bed and was sent a picture of the feces as proof. He added that it was so bizarre and so grotesque that he could only muster up laughter as a reaction. When Amber was confronted, Johnny says that she claimed it was from the dog, citing the bowel control issues one of their shared teacup Yorkies has. As a puppy, the Yorkie in question had gotten into Depp's stash of substances, which led to its current digestive issues. When asked if this was a prank, Heard responded, quote, absolutely not. First of all, I don't think that's funny. I was not in the pranking mood. My life was falling apart. I had just been attacked on my 30th birthday. It was not really a jovial time, and I don't think that's funny. That's disgusting. At number 3 is her alleged wardrobe malfunction. In 2018, the actress was caught by paparazzi at an airport wearing black slacks and a form-fitting white tank top and was apparently braless. This was immediately coined as a wardrobe malfunction by many media outlets. In response to such claims, Amber told Entertainment Tonight, I don't care what people have to say about my fashion choices. I dress for my own self. However, to say I had a malfunction because you could see my body, I'm not ashamed of it. I don't care how it looks to you or the effect it has on you. How dare you tell me it was a malfunction? My nipples are a part of me and they're not a malfunction. Heard also tweeted that it was, quote, a choice and hashtag not a malfunction. Our runner-up on the list is an incident someone had with her aggressive bodyguard. The YouTube influencer Jaclyn Hill told People magazine and TikTok all about what she calls a humiliating run-in she once had with Amber Heard and her bodyguard last year. Hill said she bumped into the actor at Nobu, a Japanese restaurant in Malibu, when Heard's bodyguard allegedly escorted her out of the restaurant. In the TikTok video posted to her account, Hill said that the encounter happened a couple of years ago and starts by saying, quote, time to tell you guys the horrifying and humiliating story of the day that I met Amber Heard. Hill went on to recount that after she and her friends were seated, she noticed a familiar woman sitting on the table next to her, later recognizing her as Heard from her 2006 movie Alpha Dog. Hill said, quote, we were making eye contact every 3 to 5 minutes and it was so awkward and I was like, why does she keep looking at me? Why do I keep looking at her? Once the group paid the bill, as they were walking out of the restaurant, Hill said she couldn't refrain from addressing Heard, and she went on to claim that they shared a brief, cordial conversation in which she said Heard was so nice to her. Unfortunately, during the conversation, Hill alleged that Amber's security guard physically grabbed her forearm and said that she needed to come with him, proceeding to escort her away from Amber, letting her know that she's not allowed to be speaking with the actress. Hill called the situation, quote, one of the most embarrassing moments of my entire life, but went on to reassure that it wasn't Amber that humiliated her or was even mean to her. Amber and her representatives have never made comment on the incident. Our number 1 spot goes to when Heard alleged that Depp did a cavity search on her. During the trial, Heard alleged that Depp thought she was hiding an illegal substance from him. She recounted, while looking visibly uncomfortable and disgusted, that he ripped her clothes off of her and conducted a cavity search of her body. She said, quote, I was wondering how I, somebody who didn't do that substance and was against it because it was in and of itself causing problems in our relationship, why would I hide his substances from him? She continued by saying, like he was insinuating that I was doing it or something. It made no sense. And he was telling me we're going to conduct a cavity search, like he just shoved his fingers inside of me. I just stood there while he did it. An allegation to which Johnny denied and offered absolutely no follow-up to. At number 10 is the fact that he walked out of an Oppenheimer screening. On Rotten Tomatoes, Oppenheimer has a critical rating of 93%, and at the time of writing this, it's the 4th highest grossing movie of the year behind the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Barbie, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. However, Christopher Nolan's movie of the summer was apparently quite unimpressive to the brilliant Logan Paul. The YouTube star admitted to having walked out of the theater, citing that the film was, quote, all exposition and that everyone was just talking. To quote him directly, he said, I didn't know what they were trying to do. Everyone's just talking. It's just an hour and a half, 90 minutes of talking. Just talking. Little did he know, if he just stayed put for a few more minutes, he would have literally seen not only Hiroshima, but Hiroshima juxtaposed with sex. Saying a movie is all talking is also just absurd. Yeah, have you ever seen a movie? Twitter user Internet Hall of Fame responded to Culture Crave's tweet, which was reporting the story, saying, doesn't he literally host a podcast where its sole existence is just to talk? This isn't the first time Logan has revealed he considered walking out of a movie theater, as he admitted to have almost walked out of Interstellar after 18 minutes because it was too slow. 18 minutes! I guess this is what you get when an attention span has been so beat down from only consuming internet content. At number 9 is the no handlebars controversy. Alongside his successful YouTube career, Paul has also decided to dip his toes into the music industry, just as any internet celebrity would, because if you can gain fans by screaming, you can also gain fans by singing, or at least have your fans buy your music and convince themselves that they like it. There's no doubt that his music career provoked some backlash, but the worst came from a particularly bad decision in his parody rendition of Handlebars by Flowbots, which Logan called No Handlebars. The band apparently didn't get too serious about Logan's song until an interview with TMZ went public, where Logan said he, quote, didn't really know who the Flowbots were, and this unsurprisingly made the band want Paul to get to know them a little better by issuing a lawsuit. In their lawsuit, the Flowbots claim Logan jacked their song, going on to say that the parody is one thing, but that he crossed the line by copying way too many elements of Handlebars, like deliberately imitating their trumpet riff, their melody, and that the lyrics are nearly identical for the 4 successive bars. Flowbot's initially sued for protective copyright of the song, as well as the profits he made, which according to Forbes it was estimated in 2017 that Logan made $150,000 per Facebook post and $80,000 for his sponsored Instagram posts. What made the band and other people even more upset is that the original Flowbot song is about reaching a crossroads and deciding how to use your power, but Logan decided to use it by riding a bicycle made out of women, literally reducing them to objects, while singing about riding your girl with no handlebars. The model he rides in the music video actually thought the video was going to be satire at first, but said she felt abused and ashamed when in the video. And Flowbot's frontman Jamie Laurie slammed Logan as the face of douchebag entitlement, releasing the diss track entitled Handle Your Bars, and it was pretty good. At number 8 is his Twitch stream. When his revenue stream was unsurprisingly suspended on YouTube for one of his many guideline infringements, I don't even know what the specific situation was in this case, and I don't care what it was. It was probably him doing something insufferable and offensive. Anyway, he decided he'd try his hand at live streaming on the fastest growing entertainment platform of the present era, Twitch, the home of many contemporary celebrities, so it makes sense that Logan would want to get out there at some point, especially since he had already made the move from Vine to YouTube, so expanding to Twitch seemed like a logical jump. However, much of Twitch's user base was less than thrilled about the new company. During his Twitch stream, he showcased how much he sucked at the game Fortnite, read out a username that included a racial slur, and was barraged by phallic images. Even so, he still scored 630,000 subscribers on Twitch overnight, infuriating many of the streamers who work hard for subscribers on the site, seeing as all he had done was bring his former audience somewhere else. Goddamn brand loyalty. Coming in at number 7 is his taser video. Just like a child that will one day end up with a Netflix documentary that features someone like Zac Efron playing the titular role, Logan not only tortured animal remains but also filmed it so all his young impressionable following could watch and laugh along with him. In the video posted to his YouTube channel, we could watch in HD how Logan zapped a pair of deceased rats with a taser. If you can believe it, this video was not the cause of a controversy, but actually posted in lieu of a comeback tour as Logan was putting on that followed a 3-week hiatus he decided to take in the aftermath of previous controversy. This obviously did not have the intended result, however. I'm not sure what he expected from posting rat corpses to the internet, because the masses were not on his side after seeing this. In fact, it resulted in all of the ads being suspended from his YouTube channel. Google did not care for any of this dead vermin business of his and took a hardline approach in monitoring the content of YouTube's biggest vlogger. Now at number 6 is how he markets his merch. It's not a shock that Logan will go to any measure necessary to make sure all of his loyal following are known mavericks by purchasing $60 sweaters with an ugly bird decal plastered on the front. It's an understatement to say that Logan Paul is unbearably relentless when it comes to pushing his merchandise, and since his core audience is made up of kids who don't necessarily have a ton of marketing literacy, his tactics have come under fire as being more than a little problematic. Logan is constantly pushing his clothing line, telling his young fans that they'll be part of the movement and ahead of the crowd if they do so. The product placement in his videos is non-stop, even drops the word maverick into sentences as often as possible. Just a caricature in product placement, really. Coming in at our halfway point is the fact that he's a terrible tourist. Behaving with little respect when in a country you don't necessarily understand every custom in is really the bare minimum. But being a good person has never been what brought Logan Paul his riches, now is it? While his trip to Japan is the most notorious of all, his time in Italy was almost as bad. Logan Paul decided to jump into a Venice canal, which is obviously illegal, and inspired an online campaign to get him arrested. However, he managed to provoke even more hate in a different part of the country, Rome, where Logan decided to fly a drone over the Colosseum, which is what actually had him land in Italian custody. To make matters worse, he filmed and uploaded his entire arrest as well as the illegally captured drone footage. It makes literally no sense to cause such chaos anywhere, but in a foreign country, what compels you to play with fire like that? Coming in at number 4, he told people to sabotage his brother's van. While we don't know if Logan was the perpetrator behind the situation for sure, the circumstances are certainly suspicious. Jake Paul, Logan's brother, partook in a pretty viral feud with his neighbors, or should I call it, they were just complaining that he kept lighting his pool on fire, which culminated in a now infamous interview with a local news station and an alleged incident in which the Team 10's van was sabotaged. Jake claims that the neighbors loosened the lug nuts in the wheels, resulting in a dangerous accident on the highway, but leave it to PewDiePie to create a conspiracy theory surrounding what he thinks may have actually happened, being that maybe Logan was the one to loosen the nuts. It seemed plausible enough, especially since Logan was the one that suggested it was Jake's neighbors to do just that. Was it a coincidence? Why would he come up with something so specific? Was it part of a larger cross-channel script? Whatever the case, Logan's critics weren't impressed, as this was speculated to be just another situation curated to create more content. content. And number 3 is his role in the Jalissa drama. 2017 spoiled us with the amount of internet gossip it created. The craziest internet scandal to grace our Twitter timelines features none other than Alyssa Violet, the ex-Team 10 member who left the house in a whirlwind of drama, with Jake claiming she cheated on him and Alyssa saying that Jake had cheated on her all the time. God, they should just have an open arrangement. Some communication could have cleared this right up. Matters only got worse when rumors spread that Alyssa had hooked up with Jake's own brother, Logan. As if this wasn't all weird enough, the Logang released a diss track aimed at Jake featuring Alyssa, which seemed to reference their hookup. It also included a second verse that Logan didn't originally release because it was too cruel, but then later uploaded it anyway, probably just a way to gain some clout for it. Very strange, even if this whole thing was just for clicks. Logan Paul has absolutely thought about doing worse things, but to think of this was just kind of sick. Runner up on this list is when he faked his own death. Man, does Logan ever love a prank, but as any seasoned prankster should know, you shouldn't commit the most intense prank if you ever want to effectively prank again. Logan takes jokes too far all the time, but there was one instance that was absolutely heinous. In a video posted to his YouTube channel, he decided to fake his own death in a prank to the live audience of young fans. He began by announcing that he was going to, quote, do something wrong that feels so right, going on to take advantage of the crowd of eager young fans who were so excited to finally see their idol in person by staging his own death, revealing it to have been a big joke at the end. Given the age range of his most dedicated fans, this probably changed the trajectory of their life forever. I cannot imagine the trust issues some of these guys have now. It's just one in a long line of horrific stunts that somehow seemed like a good idea at the time, but something to apologize profusely for afterwards. Our number 1 spot on this list obviously goes to his controversial Japan video. It became one of YouTube's biggest scandals since the site was first launched for a very awful reason. While on vacation in Japan, the Logang decided to visit the Aokigahara forest, also known as the forest that people often take their own lives in. While there, Logan and his friends found a body of a man who had taken his own life, and Logan proceeded to film it while laughing and acting shocked that the forest known for this actually lived up to what it was known for. He then uploaded the video to YouTube, and Logan has since apologized for his actions, although critics felt that he came off as insincere. The event has truly cemented his infamy and the fact that he's truly pretty evil.
Number 10, walking into a wall. In August of 2016, a paparazzi video was taken of Hailey walking with Madison Beer. They had just had lunch together at a cafe in West Hollywood, and they were off to Kendall Jenner's house. In the video, you can clearly see a really big difference in the way that the two women interact with the paparazzi. Madison is seen smiling and talking with them, while Hailey is a lot more tense and tries to cover her face the whole time. This eventually leads her to walk off the path and straight into a wall. This moment was really difficult to watch. Ironically, the whole thing brought a lot more attention to her because she was trying to cover her face, while Madison simply got into the car and was waiting for her. Hailey was then left behind and tried to work out which way to turn. The comments on the video were absolutely hilarious. People wrote things like, "Girl, you're not that important, keep walking," and "I just know she was embarrassed." Another user wrote, "She always thinks the paparazzi are after her. She's acting like a big celebrity." But if anything, most people thought it was just funny and relatable. After all, it kind of reminds you of something that you would do if you were in that situation. Number 9, posting on Justin's account. Fans have suspected that Hailey is the one that runs Justin's Instagram account for quite some time, and a recent post might actually confirm that. A few days ago, he shared photos of the two of them from what looks like a romantic beach getaway. In the caption, he wrote, "Love you, baby." And while a lot of the comments seemed happy that he was finally posting about his wife, most of them were predictably negative. People were really picking everything apart, and that is a major understatement. Someone pointed to the fact that he used the word love spelled L-U-V and not the normal way, which might be a sign that it was Hailey who actually posted that. The theory is that only women would spell the word love like that, and it seems to be the most popular theory because people started writing things like, "Hailey, please give Justin his phone back." Other people insisted that he was forced to make the post and wrote, "Blink if you need help." Now, this might sound a little crazy, but if you just take a look at Justin's Instagram, a lot of the captions do seem like they might have been written by someone else, especially the ones that are appreciating Hailey. But even if she is writing the captions, it's probably something that he approved beforehand. Number 8, farting in the car. In November of 2019, newlyweds Justin and Hailey were out for a drive in LA. She was in the driver's seat while he was filming her from the passenger seat. In the hilarious video, he suddenly decides to embarrass the hell out of her. He says, "Babe, did you fart? You farted, didn't you? You let out a big gassy one." Even though Justin was clearly joking, it was enough for Hailey to turn bright red. She immediately just covered her face and begged him to stop. She was having none of it and told him that he's not funny. Even though it's a natural bodily function, being accused of farting is somehow always humiliating. But it must have been 10 times worse because Justin actually shared this moment with his 281 million Instagram followers. Some of the fans really felt bad for her at this time because it was shared with just so many people. Luckily, the joke didn't stop their fun because later that same day, they were spotted out and about at a lunch date looking casual. At this point, they were almost 1 full year into their marriage, so they obviously felt very comfortable joking with each other and just being silly. Number 7, extremely rude in person. In June last year, Hailey was called out by an influencer who just happened to be a guest at her Rode launch party to promote the brand. Beauty vlogger Iris Balin posted an Instagram video talking about the horrible experience. She said that the moment Hailey arrived with Kylie and Kendall Jenner, they went straight to the VIP section. Apparently, a lot of the guests wanted to talk to her because they were just excited to hear about the launch of her new products. But Hailey refused to talk to them or even come near them. Iris said, "This girl didn't say anything and it was the most awkward thing because there were people hovering to take pictures with her, to talk to her. This is your event. Show up for your event or have your rep people say something." But yeah, no, Hailey didn't say anything or want to talk about anything. In the end, it was Kylie Jenner that eventually said a few words about the skincare line, despite the fact that she didn't really have anything to do with it. Now honestly, there could have been many different reasons why she didn't want to talk to anyone, so it doesn't necessarily mean she was trying to be antisocial here. Number 6, the Nepo Baby shirt. This new label refers to someone who receives special privileges because of their famous parents or relatives. Clearly, Hailey does fall into this category, as many people believe she's only reached the fame and success that she has now because she's married to Justin Bieber. But the part that really upsets people is that she seemingly refuses to acknowledge that she is actually a Nepo baby. In fact, she hit back at these accusations by wearing a Nepo Baby t-shirt, which obviously just enraged people more. Louis Pisano, a writer for Harper's Bazaar, then tweeted out the photo with the caption, "The Hailey Bieber Nepo Baby t-shirt picture gives nothing because she gives nothing. She's not personable enough to give this staged paparazzi shot for a viral moment any personality. She doesn't act or sing. She gets in and out of cars in beige and black YSL and has a skincare line." That tweet went viral and it seemed like everyone agreed. Even Charlie XCX joined in on the discourse and wrote, "I respect the Nepo Baby t-shirt attempt." To be fair, Hailey is far from the only celebrity that has been called out for being the product of nepotism, but it's really her response to this label that said it all. If she just acknowledged that there was some truth to it, things might have turned out a little differently. Number 5, call out on TikTok. A former waitress by the name of Julia Carolan was working at a fancy restaurant in Manhattan, and this is when she had a not so nice run-in with Hailey Bieber. She posted about her experience on TikTok where she was rating different celebrity interactions. She said, "This is gonna be controversial, but I've met her a handful of times, and each time she was not nice. I really want to like her, but I have to give her a 3.5 out of 10. So when the video went viral, Hailey eventually saw it and quickly took to the comment section to apologize. She wrote, "Just came across this video and wanted to say I'm so sorry if I've ever given you bad vibes or a bad attitude. That's not ever been my intention." Thankfully, she did take the opportunity to respond to Julia, but unfortunately that was far from the only person who's had a bad experience meeting her. If anything, the video just goes to show you that you can really make out someone's character by how they treat those people working in the service industry. Besides, would she have actually responded if the video didn't go viral? We'll never know. Number 4, making Justin uncomfortable. There has been a ton of resurfaced videos of Justin and Hailey's relationship making their way across the internet recently, but this one is pretty shocking. It was a tense moment where she seemed to make him physically uncomfortable with her touch. In the video, the two of them are doing a live stream together. Justin is sitting down casually while Hailey is standing behind him with her arms crossed. At one point, she becomes excited and puts her arms around him, which he really doesn't like. Justin can be heard saying, "Babe, I can't. Don't touch me right now. I just need some space." This was obviously a very tense moment for him and he did not want to be touched, which is completely fair. He also made it clear that he just wanted some space at that time. It might have been a little cringy to watch, but at least he was setting his boundaries. For her part, Hailey seemed to be a little confused at first and then embarrassed, but she quickly realized that he was being serious and she moved her hands away. This is not the first time that something like this has happened, but it might just mean that her love language is physical touch, while his is something else entirely. Number 3, cringe tweets. Recently, there's been evidence posted online that proves Hailey was a hardcore Justin fan for years before they actually got together. Fans have discovered some really old tweets that have since been deleted, where she would talk about his relationship with Selena Gomez and how much she shipped them as a couple. Yeah, someone found a post from 2011 where she wrote, "I don't care what anyone says, but Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez together is the definition of a teenage dream." That tweet might have been embarrassing, but it was nothing compared to the racist ones that were discovered a lot later. She once wrote that she was leaving Florida white, but coming back to New York a different race. That tweet was then taken down no less than 15 minutes after it was originally tweeted. She also wrote, "With Cody Simpson and that awkward moment when you're at a Chinese restaurant and your waiter isn't Chinese." When people came for her online, she defended herself at the time by saying that she isn't white. As we know, her mom, Kenya Baldwin is Brazilian, but by that logic, she was basically trying to insinuate that she can say whatever she wants, which she later found out is completely untrue. Number 2, chasing after Justin. In September of 2021, there was a shocking video posted on Twitter showing Justin literally running away from paparazzi and leaving Hailey while she falls on the ground and tries to run after him. In the clip, he's walking with his skateboard and he ducks underneath a gate, but once he gets onto the road, he just takes off without saying anything. At first, it kind of looks like he's alone and just doing his own thing, but 1 second later, Hailey literally falls onto the road and looks flustered at the fact that she got left behind. To make things so much worse, this all happened on a busy street, so plenty of people watched it go down. She then sprints after him, obviously trying to catch up, but Justin is already out of sight. The whole thing must have been incredibly humiliating for her, and people were very sympathetic in the comments. One person wrote, "I know this keeps her awake every night, and that's why you shouldn't chase men." Many fans also made it clear that they could relate to her situation. One user wrote, "As much as most of us may not like her, no female deserves to be treated like this by their husband. She deserves better regardless." And coming in at number 1, the eyebrows drama. The infamous feud between Hailey and Selena started again a few weeks ago, when Selena made a post saying that she accidentally laminated her eyebrows too much. In what looked like a response, Kylie Jenner posted a close-up photo of her and Hailey's eyebrows with the caption, "This was an accident." Fans immediately took this as an attempt to mock Selena and called them out for bullying. From that point on, it seemed like Selena really believed this, because for the first time in years, she actually responded to the drama and hit back online. In a resurfaced video of Hailey gagging at the mention of Taylor Swift's name, Selena left a comment under the video saying, "So sorry, my best friend is and continues to be one of the best in the game." She also commented on a series of other TikToks calling out Hailey and Kylie Jenner for their mean girl behavior. In the fallout from the scandal, Hailey lost more than 1 million followers on social media, around 900,000 followers on Instagram, and more than 350,000 on TikTok. Kylie also lost about 1 million followers on Instagram altogether. But the opposite happened to Selena. She ended up gaining 10 million followers on Instagram and went on to reclaim the throne as one of the most followed women on the platform. Number 10, tone deaf Pepsi ad. Kendall Jenner caused another huge uproar back in 2017. She found herself in hot water when she starred in a Pepsi commercial that had a protest theme, but people on social media were not having it. They accused the commercial of making light of important issues and protests against racial injustice and police brutality just to sell soda. The backlash was so intense that they had to pull the ad, and both Kendall and Pepsi had to apologize for the whole mess. It was a lesson for everyone involved that you can't just use social activism as a marketing tool. Kendall later told Vogue in March of 2018 that her intention was not to hurt anyone. And while this might have been true, I'm shocked that the commercial got far enough without someone stopping to say, "Hey, this might not be the best idea." Talk about tone deaf. Number 9, Nepo baby. If you know anything about the modeling industry, you know that it isn't all glitz and glamour. Models often face tough living conditions, living in cramped apartments and working tirelessly for minimum pay and food. However, Kendall Jenner didn't experience that reality. Unlike other models who've climbed their way up from the bottom, Kendall is part of one of the most influential families of our time. Doors have been opened for her solely based on her name, with opportunities that many others will never have. And it seems like she really takes this for granted. On a reunion episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the 27-year-old said that being associated with a reality TV show made her job and castings a little bit harder. She said, "I definitely worked my way to where I am now." Kendall also tends to cancel shows and back out at the last minute. In fact, she skipped out on an important event like Milan Fashion Week and many more. This behavior can be frustrating for other models who've been in the industry for much longer and can't afford to do the same without jeopardizing their entire careers and livelihoods. Number 8, who needs pants? Kendall Jenner certainly knows how to make a statement on the red carpet, and she did just that at the 2023 Met Gala. All eyes were on her, and it's no surprise considering that she showed up without any pants. Yeah, you read that right. Kendall rocked a dazzling sequin black bodysuit with dramatic floor-skimming sleeves, leaving her lower half completely bare. Talk about breaking fashion norms. And to top it all off, she accessorized with a sparkling crystal embellished collar and rocked sky-high platinum boots. While other people opted for elegant gowns, Kendall decided to go for an edgier pants-free look that turned heads and had everyone talking. But here's the thing, this isn't the first time she's been spotted out and about without bottoms. Last November, she was seen strutting around LA in an ensemble that some people deemed as indecent exposure. She wore black pantyhose placed underneath her underwear, with a knit crewneck sweater laid over a white t-shirt. This unconventional outfit sparked a debate on social media, with some people finding it completely inappropriate. Kendall clearly isn't afraid to push boundaries and make a statement with her unique style, but it's still still a little cringe to see. Number 7, secret birthday party. Did you hear about Kendall Jenner's illegal Halloween birthday party? It was quite the controversy. Despite the worldwide situation going on at the time and the rules that were put in place in 2020, Kendall still decided to throw a massive bash to celebrate turning 25. I mean, who needs social distancing and masks when you're a celebrity, right? The party took place at Harriet's rooftop in West Hollywood, and a whole bunch of A-listers like Justin and Hailey Bieber, Jaden Smith, Quavo, Winnie Harlow, Paris Hilton, The Weeknd, Sweetie, and even Doja Cat were there. Talk about a star-studded event. Apparently, everyone who attended, including the servers and employees, had to take a test on site. They weren't even allowed upstairs until the results came back negative. But here's the kicker, in all the photos that were leaked on social media, not a single person was wearing a face covering. And forget about social distancing, that was clearly out the window. Kendall even blew out her own birthday candles with her mouth, practically ensuring her spit was all over the cake. I mean, can't you just wave your hand or something? Oh, and let's not forget the no social media rule that they had. Well, that didn't go down too well because Kendall's sister Kylie couldn't resist posting pics on her Instagram story. And of course, Twitter had a field day with it, calling out the celebrities for their reckless behavior and hypocrisy. Number 6, t-shirt brand fail. This point actually includes Kendall's sister Kylie as well. Comment below if you'd like for us to do a list like this on her too. So Kylie and Kendall Jenner found themselves in a fashion fiasco when their t-shirt line sparked controversy. The sisters launched a collection featuring their faces superimposed over images of iconic musicians like Notorious Big and Tupac. However, fans and the public were quick to criticize the line, accusing them of appropriating and disrespecting the legacies of these legendary artists. The backlash grew rapidly, leading to the immediate removal of the t-shirt line from stores. It turned out that they seemingly used the images and names of musicians without permission or proper acknowledgement. Many felt that their actions trivialized the cultural significance and impact of these artists. Fans and critics took to social media to express their disappointment and anger, demanding an apology and calling for the removal of the t-shirts. In response, Kendall and Kylie issued an apology on Twitter, acknowledging their mistake and stating that they did not intend to disrespect anyone. Number 5, is that what I think it is? So get this, Kendall Jenner caused quite a stir when she shared a Snapchat photo of a tiny plastic bag that looked suspiciously like it contained a certain illicit powder. And guess what her caption was? "This is the cutest little Ziploc baggie I have ever seen." Yeah, that was not the smartest move, and fans immediately called her out for it, pointing out that those kind of little baggies are typically used for carrying you know what, especially the white powdery stuff. They started assuming that she must be into some shady substances. And things didn't stop there. A video from her graduation party later surfaced on Snapchat, showing again what seemed to be that same powdery substance. Kendall's big sister Chloe came to her rescue and shut down those rumors. She took to Twitter to set the record straight. According to Chloe, there was no such shenanigans going on at that graduation party. It was all happening in broad daylight, with teenagers and a whole bunch of cameras around. She explained that the powdery stuff was just coming from scraping the rim of jello shots before taking them. Chloe made it clear that they're not as wild as people think, and she urged everyone to just say no. Lesson learned, Kendall. Maybe think twice before sharing questionable pictures on social media. As for the rest of us, let's remember to gather all the facts before jumping to conclusions. Overall, still a cringy moment. Number 4, rude to restaurant workers. You won't believe what happened with Kendall and a New York City bartender. So here is the deal. According to a bartender at Baby's Alright, Kendall supposedly refused to leave a tip after he had been serving her all night. The bartender took to Twitter and posted a photo of a receipt with her name and signature on it. And the twist? Well, the tip section was completely empty on a $24 bill. He didn't hold back with the caption either, reminding everyone to tip their bartender. Of course, Kendall wasn't going to let this slide. She responded to the accusations on Twitter, explaining that she had actually left a cash tip instead of filling out the tip section on the receipt. She fired back with a simple message: "Damn, I guess next time we won't tip in cash." Another time she was accused by a waitress, Julia Carlotta, who had once waited on her of being cold and rude. She was rating celebrities she had served in the past, and this was what she had to say about Kendall. Quote, "This is another one where I unfortunately did not have the best experience with them. She used to come in all the time and was pretty cold towards staff. She also usually had someone speak for her and doesn't speak directly to staff." While Julia said that she did give her the benefit of the doubt since perhaps she was just shy, we're not entirely sure what happened there. Number 3, woe is me. Celebrities have their fair share of challenges, and it's understandable that they may express their frustrations or disappointments. However, Kendall takes it to a whole new level when she complains on social media about how horrible her incredibly privileged life has been. One incident that sparked a wave of criticism from fans and fellow celebrities was when Kendall tweeted, "Just wish things could be easier sometimes." Well, we've all experienced that feeling, but if we were in Kendall's shoes, we might think twice before sharing it with our millions of followers. followers. Frances Bean Cobain, the daughter of the late Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love, didn't hold back in her response to Kendall's tweet. She called Kendall an effing idiot and accused her of being self-involved. In a Twitter rant, she pointed out the pressing issues of cancer, famine, poverty, drought, disease, natural disasters, and death, reminding Kendall that humans can be incredibly self-involved. Number 2, promoting bad habits. While Kendall Jenner's slender frame has made her successful in the modeling industry, she has faced criticism for promoting unhealthy eating habits. One instance that raised eyebrows was when she revealed that she painted her living room a particular shade of pink because she believed it would suppress her appetite. Yeah, you read that right. In February of 2017, Kendall shared the story behind her living room color choice on her website. She explained that her friends told her about a pink room at an exhibit that was scientifically proven to calm people and suppress their appetite. Intrigued by the idea, she decided to paint her own living room in that shade. She expressed her enthusiasm saying, "I need this color in my house," and she went ahead and found someone to paint her room in that specific pink color. But this revelation didn't sit well with a lot of fans and professionals who were just concerned about the harmful implications of promoting such ideas, especially to Kendall's younger audience. The notion of associating color with appetite suppression sparked a wave of criticism and raised questions about the responsibility of influential figures when it comes to promoting healthy behaviors and body image. And coming in at number 1, cucumber cutting cringe. Let's finish off with some alliteration and probably the most embarrassing point on this list. Kendall Jenner caused a buzz on the internet when a video of her struggling to cut a cucumber went viral. It happened during an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, as Kendall attempted to make a snack without the family chef's help. In the episode, Kendall visited her mom Chris's house and decided to make her own snack. When Chris offered to have the chef prepare something, Kendall refused. Things got really awkward when she didn't know how to cut the cucumber and looked super confused. She was holding the cucumber with one hand, but then somehow cutting it on the opposite side. It almost hurt to watch. Kendall admitted that she wasn't good at cutting and she was a little scared with the knife. Eventually, Chris tried to call the chef for help, but Kendall declined and said she wanted to prove herself. Social media held a field day with that viral moment, joking about the Kardashian family's privilege and Kendall's lack of knife skills.